What's up everybody, this is the Joseph Allen, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully a quick video today. I'm going to be switching gears a little bit. I'm not going to be talking about God or religion or any of that stuff. What I want to talk about, as you can see from the title, is veganism / vegetarianism. I wanted to share excerpts of an article with you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link the article on the site, but I am going to give you a few excerpts just to convey the idea. And you know, the reason is I've been kind of thinking for a while now that I want to stop eating meat maybe, and I discussed it with my wife, and you know, we're kind of throwing it around. And of course there are, you know, many arguments for this, but I found this really interesting article, and the ironic thing, at least when it pertains to this channel, is that the article is by a Wesley J. Smith, who is a senior fellow of the Discovery Institute. So, you know, anything can happen. So what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to read a couple of excerpts, and I recommend you go and read the entire article, and let's discuss basically. Veganism is Murder by Wesley J. Smith. PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, is at it again. When actress Jessica Simpson recently wore a t-shirt bearing the words, "Real girls eat meat," the animal rights zealots pounced. Jessica Simpson might have a right to wear what she wants, a PETA spokesperson said, but she doesn't have the right to eat what she wants. Eating meat is about suffering and death. Listening to animal rights activists bray on about the wrongness of slaughtering animals for food, summarized in their advocacy phrase, "meat is murder," one would think that the choice that we have is between a diet in which animals are killed and a strictly vegan diet involving no animal deaths. But life is never that simple. Plant agriculture results each year in the mass slaughter of countless animals, including rabbits, gophers, mice, birds, snakes, and other field creatures. These animals are killed during harvesting and in various mechanized farming processes that produce wheat, corn, rice, soybeans, and other staples of vegan diets. And that doesn't include the countless rats and mice poisoned in the grain elevators or the animals that die from loss of habitat cleared for agricultural use. Animal rights activists certainly don't mention this inconvenient fact in their advocacy materials. But if the matter comes up in a debate, they have a problem. They believe it is speciesist to grant some sentient animals, including humans, greater value than others. As PETA's Ingrid Newkirk so famously put it, "A rat is a fish, a dog is a boy." Thus, they cannot contend that it is more wrong to kill a pig than a rabbit, nor can they argue that field animals experience less agonizing deaths from plant agriculture than food animals do from food animal slaughtering. And so he basically goes on, you know, on that little tangent and gets graphic about how the animals are killed. Then an animal rights activist says that the actual problem is intent, you know, that we're willingly murdering these animals to eat them, when the whole farming process is just really to harvest the plants, and there's like basically collateral damage. And the Wesley J. Smith, the author of the article, comes back saying that that doesn't hold any water because the argument made by animal rights activists is that meat is murder, while veganism is supposedly cruelty-free. And then he goes on to quote a couple of scientific studies where he claims that there would be 300,000 fewer animal deaths per billion or something like that. You get the point. So basically, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I found this interesting article, and since I'm struggling with that, you know, thought about going meat-free, so to speak, I wanted to share it with you and see what you guys had. I really didn't do any research to check if this guy's paper is legit, you know. Right away, obviously, a red flag comes up when I read Discovery Institute, but this apparently is not really that related to what they usually do, although some would argue that it is. But in any case, what do you guys think? Leave me some comments, leave me some, you know, maybe you have other links. I've done research on vegetarianism and on other fronts. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.